Hello, everyone. This is David Hrizak, CEO of the Streamline companies. We're here today to talk about something you may not be familiar with. Did you know that you can invest in private placement real estate opportunities like ours utilizing a self-directed IRA? A lot of people don't even know what a self-directed IRA is. So I brought in Mark Peck from Directed IRA to teach us a little bit about this opportunity. Mark, welcome.
Thank you, David. Wonderful to be here with you. Great to speak to the Streamline audience, and we love working with your company and excited to talk about self-directed IRAs today.
Thank you for being here today. So let's dig into it. How do our investors work with a self-directed IRA to invest in real estate opportunities?
Yeah, it's a great question, and we'll just kind of talk through what is a self-directed IRA. As you mentioned, it's a newer concept for a lot of folks, and then we can relate it to, how do you invest in real estate and deals like the Streamline company is putting together. So I've got a couple of slides here I'll just use as a reference point, and we can kind of just talk through it. And see. So, Directed IRA was founded by two tax attorneys, our CEO and co-founder Matt Sorensen and his partner Mark J. Kohler. They both have a wealth of experience as tax advisors, helping folks manage estate planning, trusts, and retirement accounts. So they formed the company in 2018. We're a newer company and one of the fastest growing custodians in the industry. We are pleased to serve over 23,000 clients. Many of those are investors in things like real estate deals. And we take immense pride in our terrific service. Customer service is paramount, and really it's a big focus point of ours at Directed. There's a little bit of our team. Matt Sorensen, as I mentioned, Aaron Halderman, our CEO, and then myself, Mark Peck. I lead our business development group here and have the pleasure of working with teams like Streamline. Quick disclaimer, always fun, but all information and materials are for educational purposes only. We always encourage you to consult with your own financial professionals, CPAs, attorneys, work with those trusted parties in your group before making any decision. So what is a self-directed account? You may have heard this term, and really what it's referring to is that there is not an advisor or a broker affiliated to an investment account that's helping drive decision making or placing investments within it. So the term self-directed is really alluding to the account owner's ability to direct the investments into any investment class they see fit. And so really, it's often focused on tax advantaged accounts. Because those usually have an advisor with them. Like if you have a 401k plan at work and you're used to that kind of experience, you've got a plan advisor that chooses all the investments for you, and you can't really go off that set menu. So a self-directed account allows you as the account owner to choose the investments and to direct your custodian, in this case, Directed IRA, to go out and execute them on your behalf. So it's really ideal for folks who have some experience investing, know what they want, and are looking for some alternatives from the traditional Wall Street options. The big players like Schwab, Fidelity, Merrill Lynch, they don't want to provide these types of accounts because for them, it's all about keeping the assets in traditional stocks and bonds, things that they can advise on and sell you from a brokerage perspective. So we're all playing by the same IRS rules. We just, as a business, focus on these specialized accounts where the bigger players are more focused on their traditional investments. And really, the key benefit is getting to invest in what you know. And David, as you know, and you've dealt with yourself and your network and folks who are interested in investing with Streamline, getting that opportunity to invest in what you know best is so powerful. And I know you've heard this story before. I think you were just speaking to a gentleman today about, getting the chance to invest in what he knows and why that's so powerful.
Yeah, everybody loves the idea of owning real estate, but sometimes they're unfamiliar on how to invest in real estate. Where does that money come from? And a lot of people think that their has to be locked up in stocks and bonds. Well, that's not the case, right?
Exactly. And really, there are some tremendous tax advantages that go with using a retirement account and make it so ideal for putting real estate within it. Again, it's about getting off the Wall Street set menu and investing in what you know personally.
Yeah, a lot of the private investments like ours, the big guys don't want to let dollars flow into it. They want to keep it locked up in the market. I heard the number, I forget how many trillions of dollars are locked up in 401ks and IRAs that are locked into the stock market and equities and bonds that are missing opportunities that are typically reserved for the high net worth individuals like ours.
Yeah, so true. And traditionally, you could invest in something like a public REIT through your IRA at Schwab, and it just takes all the control and the specificity out of that investment for you. We've got a lot of folks, and we're pleased to be based in Phoenix, Arizona. I've got my desert background here too. I know your team is out of Arizona as well, and we've got folks who are have great investment thesis around investing in real estate, whether it's residential, commercial, medical. You've got industrial properties coming online as the growth in that area, just continues to explode. And investing in a public REIT, it just doesn't give you that tactical investment opportunity that being far more specific and investing in a particular office building or a particular healthcare facility gives you that chance to really drill down. And so that's what's exciting about investing in real estate through a self-directed IRA. You can go beyond that REIT and get very tactical and specific. There's a few different ways you can do it. You can actually buy the land or the property directly. You can lend money out of your IRA. You can be the bank, if you will, for real estate-based loans. But most of our clients, and a lot of what we're helping facilitate, are investments into private funds and LLC structures, really deals that are put together by professionals like David and the team there at Streamline. I don't know, Dave, if you want to maybe just highlight kind of how that process works for you guys and how you think about bringing folks into your deals.
Yes, so I've been in this industry now for 30 years, and I consider every investor that agrees to join Streamline as family. So what we look at here at Streamline are single asset syndications. We buy one property at a time. Our clients own a piece of that property through an LLC that their IRA would be investing in. Whereas in a REIT, you're just owning a share in a publicly traded company, not necessarily owning that piece of real estate that the REIT owns. Here, you get to own it, feel it, and touch it. And we invite all of our investors out to our properties, typically twice a year, so that they can see how their asset is performing.
Yeah, it's such a impactful part of the experience to be able to see and visualize and interact with the asset, right? It's such a different experience than the very paper-based, electronic-based, experience that most of us have investing in stocks and ETFs, right? It's not tangible. So this really facilitates that ability to access that tangible asset and interact with it in just a more meaningful way. And that really, gets back to the power of the self-directed account. Um, when it comes to the logistics of using a self-directed account, and we will typically refer to IRAs, that's the most common. There are a few different account types, think various tax advantage structures, but really a self-directed IRA is most common. There's really three key steps you've got to work through as the investor. Really, first place to start is just thinking about like, where are my retirement dollars today? A lot of us, maybe from a previous job, have built up money in a 401k that's sitting there in an old 401k account. Others have maybe moved that money out and have it in a brokerage IRA at a Schwab or a Fidelity. Just identifying where you have it and is it available to move is a critical first step. One thing that we do caution folks on to always check on is like if you're still employed with a 401k plan and you still work at the company, it can sometimes be hard to get those dollars out while you're still participating in the plan. So those are the kinds of things that we start with, just kind of like an easy checklist for yourself. Where's your retirement dollars today? Once you have a good handle on that and you know what you've got, most folks are choosing from either a traditional or pre-tax IRA or Roth or after-tax IRA. And so it's about matching up the new account you're creating. It takes just a few minutes to do it online, but then we're going to get that account open for you. You'll have a new bank account with us, if you will, this IRA that's set up, and then we're going to help you fund that. And that goes back to where are the dollars today. If you're rolling money over from an old 401k, we're going to help you get those dollars out of, a Voya or a Fidelity or a Principal and move it over via rollover. Same if it's an IRA to IRA transfer. And then lastly, you can put new money to work in these accounts too. And so a new contribution is how you put new money to work in any retirement account. IRAs do have that ability as well. It's over $7,000 these years, and if you're over 50, you can actually do a catch-up contribution and put a little bit more in. Sometimes that's not enough to participate in a deal, like a full private placement here, a full private offering. You might need a little more. So most of our clients and most of the folks we help invest with Streamline are using that rollover or transfer mechanic. But if you want to top it off, put a little bit more in, the contribution's available and a very powerful option, but it is limited to just a few $1,000s each year. Last step, and where we work closely with David's team, is to help execute the investment. A lot of what you're paying for here is the expertise around the private deal, right? There's paperwork, there's a structure and workflow that needs to be followed specifically, and using the IRA's information instead of your personal information is a really big part of that. That's really where we earn our dollar, is helping you invest into the private opportunity and making sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. We're going to do things like use the tax ID of the IRA, not your social security number. And the vesting, the ownership, is going to be in the name of the IRA, not your personal name. So if our friend Jane Smith wants to invest with the Streamline companies, she's going to have her investment booked in the name of her IRA for her benefit. It won't be in her personal name and it won't be in her social security number for the tax ID. That's so important because then the money comes back to her account, keeps the tax advantages, and doesn't get reported to her personally. I don't know, anything from your experience here, David, in terms of like getting folks started and the steps they work through, any observations that you've had over the years?
So, Mark, we've been investing in real estate with partners like this for many, many years, and we have worked with other self-directed IRA companies. What the problem has been with those companies is the customer service. Can you tell us a little bit more about the customer service aspect from directed IRA?
Yeah, it's a really good point. We want to lead with a good technology first option. You can do everything online, but we back that up and we really lead with customer support, right? And that's where my team, our business development group, we work really closely with David's team to offer, really a white glove experience from start to finish. So if you've got questions about, well, where are my dollars? How can I help? How can I figure that out? We'll get on the phone with you, get on the phone with your current provider today, help you understand your options, make sure you're very clear on what choices you have and that you're clear on this process we're highlighting, right? And so it's making sure folks feel comfortable and confident to move forward. You're getting them excited about the investment opportunity. Our job is to help fulfill that, right? And so we go back to these three key steps. This is how we look at it internally. Like, have we got the folks set up with their new account? Is the funding taking place in an efficient manner? Is there any bottleneck there we need to help with? And then lastly, just teeing up those investment documents and making it really easy for the investor. Sometimes investing in private deals can be a little bit intimidating, right? It's a new thing for a lot of folks. And so David's team is going to help you get comfortable and confident in the investment itself. We're going to work with them and dovetail off that to make sure that you feel confident and ready to move forward with each step of the IRA process, and we'll be here throughout it.
Mark, one question I have, for example, we recommend that people diversify their portfolio. What if I have an investor client that has $1 million in his IRA? He's retired, he's living off of that. They don't have to put that entire $1 million into a self-directed IRA to participate in a $100,000 investment, do they?
Great question, and a really common scenario. As you highlighted, this really should be a diversification tool. And so, no, you don't have to move all your assets over. And it's a really good key question there, right? You can carve out a slice. Let's say you've got that $1 million that you've worked hard to build. You're carving out a slice of that to put into this alternative investment. So you can keep your 900K, the net difference at your current provider in standard traditional investments, and then you can move over the 100,000 here. So those accounts, you can have as many IRAs as you want. They're the same money type, and the IRS views them the same, but you're just going to split off a portion here to invest in the alternative deal. So yeah, that's something that comes up a lot. And again, part of the consultative process that we can be helpful on is just to help you understand those mechanics as the investor, as the retirement account holder, and feel confident in how you're going to execute that for your own goals.
So with the stock market at all-time highs right now, it may be a good idea for people to take some of their earnings off of the table and diversify it into a private placement and a self-directed IRA that you would help them with.
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing more and more of that. Folks have been great beneficiaries of some excellent markets the past few years, and really thinking about how do you translate that into future success. Carving out a portion of that and putting it back into these assets that you know best and feel confident in is just really such a powerful tool. Um,
Amazing.
I,
I think it's an amazing way to continue building their wealth. And that's what we do at Streamline. We help streamline your capital into long-term wealth.
Love it. Absolutely. A quick note on pricing, and this is how we get paid. So, as an investor, you have your agreement with Streamline and David's team. That's a management relationship around the assets and your investment. Our custodial account fees are going to be wholly separate from that. We get paid by the investor, by the account holder. We don't get paid by David's team. There's no contractual relationship between us. We just work well together and want to support each other. So the customer is going to pay us a custodial account fee. We start off with a $50 one-time account opening charge. So one-time charge to get the account open. And then we charge a $50 fee each time you make a private investment. So if you're going deal by deal with David's team, and let's say you want to participate in a couple different things, you're going to pay $50 each time, a one-time charge. We base that all on top of a flat annual fee. So we don't charge basis points. There's no fluctuation based on the value. It's a $395 preferred rate. We do typically charge $495. So the value relationship here with Streamline gives you a nice discount, $100 off each year. And so I've just got a scenario here on the page. Think for that first annual fee, you're looking at around $500 for the first year, and then it'll be lesser than that going forward, depending on your activity. Again, if you're investing a lot of deals and you're very active, you will have those incremental $50 charges, but the flat annual fee will stay the same, and it will just fluctuate based on how busy you are.
That's amazing. Those are great fees for getting into alternative investments that aren't readily available to every person out there.
Yeah, thank you. We feel like this is a great price for what you get. You'll find some fluctuation in our industry. Some folks are very high, but this is around, where I feel an appropriate place is, and we feel it delivers good value for our clients.
And what I like about directed IRA is the communication. I've had the opportunity to meet Matt Sorensen, the CEO of your company. He's here local in Phoenix. I've seen him speak at multiple events. And from the top all the way down, the whole organization communicates well.
Thank you. I think we've covered it, covered some great ground today. I'll highlight a couple of key takeaways. Really just thinking about real estate as an asset class and how powerful of a diversifier it can be for your portfolio. It has the ability to create some really differentiated returns. Always, great to work with professionals like David's team to help curate and select those investments. But let that be an inspiration to you to think about, well, what parts of real estate am I interested in? You may be comfortable with this type of structure. You might also be interested in doing things like lending, right? That's a personal choice. We want you to be able to express that, right? And really build a portfolio. So it could be, an equity position in a streamlined deal that you pair with a lending deal too. But you have that opportunity to choose and to build your own portfolio. And so when we're talking to folks, we really just want them to get excited and inspired by creating that financial freedom, right? And that's a way for you to just create the path that you're interested in for your own savings and retirement goals. A self-directed IRA is a really critical part of that. It provides great tax advantages. Everything in you're investing in comes back into the IRA tax advantaged. So when you capture a great return or capture income, it's coming back tax advantaged. There's really something for everybody, whether you're just getting started building up your retirement savings or you're a more mature investor who's made it pretty far down the path. There's options either way. So we're always here to help and again work with David's team to make it really easy to invest in the deals that they're putting forth.
So for everybody out there listening today, you're interested in investing in real estate, you don't have the cash available, but you have some cash in the IRA that's sitting there in the market. Get off the roller coaster ride of the market, diversify your portfolio, speak with myself, and we'll introduce you to Directed IRA to diversify your portfolio, get into a private real estate deal like ours, and help build your wealth through multiple facets. Mark, I appreciate your time today. This has been very informative.
Thank you so much. Great to be with you. Appreciate everybody's attention. Yeah, we're happy to help at any time. Our website's directedira.com. Please check us out. And again, we've got the preferred pricing for referral code Streamline.
Great. Thank you very much, Mark. Anybody has any questions, please reach out to me directly and we will help get you educated more on this subject. Have a great day.
Thanks.